Okay, so this is the chapter 4 summary chronology. It starts with a memory from Casper Hauser's previous life. He's getting an award, like some sort of academic researchy Nobel Prize-y kind of award. And the other contestant is Pre-Dalma, not an important character. The important character is someone Euro Emmentine. He's the prefect secretary, most likely going to be a member on the Unification Council. This is set during the Unification Wars, the end of the Unification Wars on Terra. And the topic of this memory is about the award, but also the fate of the conservatory, which just seems to be the Remembrancers, the whole organization that is for the Remembrancers. And so Hauser Casper gets the award, and he and Emmentine are talking about stuff, and the fate of the conservatory is to become part of the administratum. And Hauser Casper's opinion is he doesn't like that. He thought it was kind of strange for those organizations to be joined and unioned. But that's pretty much that. And then the next chronology is Hauser Casper in the present on Fenris. And we find out, last chapter we found out, it was a cliffhanger about how he had been transformed surgically and he looked really young. And so we get a lot of answers to that. So the amount of time had passed, it would be 3 Terran years, which is 19 Fenrisian years. And he's in the room with all those Astartes, same setting, scene of, there's like a few space wolves. They're playing regicide, which is another word for chess. And someone, I didn't really follow all the characters. It might have been Uther Weirdmake and all the characters in that room. Take them to a medical facility, and there's this nice scene where they walk off the edge of a cliff, but because of wind and updraft, they actually don't just fall and die. The wind is so strong that they can actually float down to a ledge, and they walk through a cavern to a medical facility where they see more of these people dressed in, the animal costumes, and more animal costumes with the masks and leather, and they call them gene healers. So we find out Casper is 30 years old. He looks that way, and there's a lot of great detail for those curious on what Terran technology, all the technology, because pretty much everything was replaced. And his eye was replaced with like a wolf eye. And the only thing interesting about it, obviously that's interesting, but it's a different than human vision. It's way more attuned to movement, and it's got a lot more periphery, and it's a bit wider. The field of vision is a bit wider, So, and then there's, that was quite a lot. That was like a few paragraphs. And then suddenly we change perspectives to a child in the city. His name's Cass. And he's playing like at school with his classmates, and there's a teacher, Uwe, and the story is just Cass talks to Rector Uwe about wolves on Fenris. He thinks he sees dogs on the slopes of a hill, and that frightens him. And then they have this dialogue about wolves and how wolves are more spiritual than animal. They're more supernatural than animal. And then that scene ends with Uwe and Cass playing chess. And then we go back to Casper Hauser, and then we find out Fifth, the Ascamani, who is, in chapter 1, chapter 2. He's still alive, and he was made a space wolf. Braun was made a space wolf but didn't survive. And then I didn't finish because I just didn't finish the whole chapter. I'll include that, but no more really advancement of the story other than we get confirmation that Bear shot down Casper's plane and that Casper is in Fenris to study the space wolves.